Hey y'all, I am back with another video, and today we had a really crazy trade. Like, I'm usually not in disbelief by trades, but I was in disbelief today. I'm gonna show you guys the trade because I screen recorded it. I apologize because I kept refreshing it because I was in disbelief, but this was like the trade in real time. Like, I was up basically 13 at a point, but I didn't close. But yeah, I made $12,975 today in 45 minutes. And I'm gonna teach you guys exactly what I saw and how I made that much money. Just to start, first and foremost, I put in $7,900 to that trade, and then I made the almost 13K off of that. So the total market value of the contracts altogether was around $20,000. I don't know if I know how to edit well enough to add a screenshot in here, but I can show you guys the screenshot right before I closed. So basically, if you guys can see where it says market value, that's how much the contracts were worth right before close, and then you guys can see my profit and then how much I put in there. Anyways, I just think it was pretty cool because it was like, okay, 160% return. If you had put in 1,000, you would have had 2,600. If you had put in 100, you would have had 260. So on and so forth. Do the math. I dropped out of college. Don't ask me. Anyways, this was a really long intro. I'm not a big fan of videos where they don't get to the point. So let's get to the point and let's talk about chart patterns. Okay, so first we have to recap the actual trade in and of itself. So do you guys see this thing right here? If I were to get rid of the chart, what do you guys see? To me, when I woke up this morning and I looked at this chart, it kind of looks like a triangle, right? Now, a triangle is a chart pattern formation. So there are certain formations that the candlesticks, for the record, every single line on this chart is called a candlestick, right? There are certain formations that the candlesticks will make sometimes, and it'll tell us which direction we think the price is gonna go. So I often get asked the question, how do I know if I'm gonna take in a call? For the record, a call means that we think the stock is gonna be going up. A put means that we think the stock is gonna be going down. That's why I love trading options, because we can make money whether or not the stock goes up or down. In this case, we saw a pattern indicating that the stock was probably gonna break out towards the upside, right? So this is a triangle formation, a triangle, wedge, pennant, whatever you want to call it. I personally get tripped up between what's a triangle, a wedge, and a pennant is, so I call them triangle, wedge, pennants. So we're going to be calling them triangle, wedge, pennants for the sake of this video. So when I woke up this morning, what I always do when I look at the charts in the morning, I check the 4-hour time frame, 4 hour to 1 hour to 30 to 15. So that's what we consider top-down analysis, right? So when I woke up this morning, 4-hour time frame, let's delete this. I was like, okay, cool, didn't really see much, whatever. 1 hour time frame, this is where I saw the triangle formation, right? So think of it this way, right? Price here, we see that it's continually bouncing, rejecting off of this trend line. I draw this trend line here, price bounced once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So I'm like, cool, that's our bottom line. Think of your bottom line as kind of your support level, right? So think of it this way. If you are in a house, right? Let's say you're standing in this house, right? Ooh, you're having a great time. The bottom floor is going to be your support. The floor is supporting you. So anytime you guys are seeing rejections towards the bottom, that's going to reflect as a support area, right? Now the top trend line of this The top trend line, right, of this flag formation or triangle formation kind of serves as a resistance area. Think of it this way. If you were also standing in that house, hands up against the ceiling, if I'm touching the ceiling, hands up in the air, right, my hands are going to be met with what? Resistance, because the ceiling is pushing back down on me. That's how I remember what support and resistance is. I'm an analogy person, so when you guys learn with me, we're going to be having a lot of analogies. So anyways, now that we have those two lines here demarcating this little triangle, now I do have a PowerPoint for it. It's going to be super fun. That's how I knew, okay, once price broke out of this triangle, because again, this is a bullish chart pattern. Bullish meaning that we think the stock is going to go up after it. Bullish formations mean up, bearish formations mean down. So bullish, think of it this way. Again, more analogies. I talk fast, so if you have to slow the video down, I know I talk fast. Think of it this way, right? If you had a bear or a bull, let me draw the bull for you guys. Here is our bull, okay? If you had a bull, right? If you were to walk up on this bull, right? In the bull were to hit you, you would go where? Up. Okay? Exactly. So think of it bullish as in upwards. Now, if you had a bear, you know, bears for the winter time, they go and they hibernate. What do they do for the winter? They go down, they hibernate. So again, bullish, when I say that, that's going to mean that price is going upwards. Bearish is going to mean that price is going downwards. So let me just redraw this pattern once more so that way we guys can see it. So do you see how it forms a triangle, right? When you think of ping pong balls, think of price as a little ping pong ball. Price has to, when it bounces, right, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It gets lower and lower until it gets into a tight little squeeze area, right? That's what makes the triangle formation so lucrative and makes us able to take trades where we can make so much money off of them. Because if I were to drop a ping pong ball on the ground, right, first bounce is pretty high, second bounce gets a little bit shorter, and then you know how balls, they bounce and then they just get super duper fast until they stop, right? That's kind of what's happening with price right here. Price is continuing to bounce until it squeezes into a really tight area like a ping pong ball. If I were to throw that ping pong ball one more time up into the air to get some motion on it, it would have to have a breakout or some sort of energy, inertia put against to it. So in order for a price to break out of this pattern, it has to be significant, like a very aggressive move. Same way how I would get a ping pong ball to flip off the ground. Energy needs to have an aggressive move, right? So that's kind of what's happening here with this triangle formation. So when I had, literally all I did today was draw these two lines. I personally trade on the 1 minute time frame because I feel like I get to see what's happening best on the 1 minute time frame. So this morning when I had taken this trade, and I'm gonna actually attach the trade recap video at the end of this video. No, I'm not, because that's gonna make this video so long. I'm going to unlist the video on YouTube and I'm gonna put the link in the description of the bio. If you guys would like to watch the trade recap, it will be in the description. It's not gonna be in this video. But essentially, once the stock market opened today, right? Let's bring the speed up of this. Once it broke out of this triangular formation, I actually entered off this candle here at 836. That was where I entered at. Now, once I was in the trade, right, I was like, okay, what's really going on here? Like, where is my target? When I trade triangular formations, I always target the top of the triangle. So my target was right around here because why? That is the top of the triangle. That's the last highest candlestick that we had in this triangular formation. So again, as PLTR rose upwards, and if you guys haven't watched any of the videos in my Discords on candlesticks, I talk about candlestick formations. I made sure that I was watching and monitoring the candlesticks the entire time that I was in this trade to help me stay in the trade this entire time, because this drop right here scared a lot of people out today on live trading, and so they got out there, but I did not get out. Why? Because one, market structure. And if you haven't seen my video on market structure, it's actually on YouTube. I think it's the one that's labeled the easiest way to understand charting. I think I covered market structure there. We hadn't taken out any lows at that point in time, so there was no reason to have exited. Also, just watching how my candles were forming kept me in that trade. And so I ended up exiting somewhere around here. Unfortunately, if you'll look and see, PLTR ended up going a lot higher throughout the day. It actually ended up today closing around 112, which is whatever. But for all this to say, if you're still watching and you're like, hey, I don't really understand what exactly is this triangle thing, don't worry, I have PowerPoint. So, wedges are still in style. Chart patterns 101 with Sierra. I thought this was so cute because, you know, as girls, like, people say wedges are out of style. Anyways, moving on. So there are different formations. I'm not going to get into all of them. If you guys would love to watch the hour-long video that I actually had along with this PowerPoint, please make sure you guys join Crystal Academy, the Discord. I taught this entire class on there, and the recording is uploaded in our WAP. But I do want to talk about specifically the triangle that we took today. So again, this is going to recover the topic I was talking about with the house, right? So what exactly is support and resistance? Again, if you were standing in a house your feet would be supported by the ground. If you put your hands against the ceiling, your hands are going to be met with resistance. So your bottom trend lines where price is rejecting off of are going to be your support levels. Top ones are going to be your resistance. Okay, just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, we trade these on higher and lower time frames. So you guys saw how when I was on the 1 hour time frame on my chart, that's where I actually found the formation. Although I traded it on the lower time frame, that's why what I mean by saying it helps with more immediate entries. Your higher time frames help with the directional confirmation. On the 1 hour time frame, I knew we'd be going up. 1 hour time frame, I was able to execute. So look at this right here. This is kind of what we had today, which is like a pennant formation, triangle wedge pennant. If you guys know, that's what we're calling them. So it's like a small triangle, right? But it happens after a big move, kind of like a car zooming up a big hill or down a big hill and then pausing for a break. So if we see here, right, where we have the little bullish pennant formation, we see we have that long little pole. I like to call it like a little flag pole. So we enter once price breaks above that little red line. So that's going to be our top resistance level that we drew on that chart, right? So if we look here at the note that says support and resistance, support is going to be the bottom of the pennant where the car rests at, and the top of the pennant is where the car stops climbing, right? So pennants are kind of like a resting zone, right? So the car is catching its breath before continuing. Again, I'm big on analogies. So if we have a car and this car is zigzagging, it comes to a point it has to catch its breath before continuing up that hill. So after a pennant forms, a car usually goes in the same direction as it was moving before. So the trade usually goes in the same direction that it was moving before, right? So again, if the car price was climbing before the pennant and then breaks above that resistance, take calls. That's what we did today. If the car price, whatever you want to call it, was sliding down before the pennant, so that's going to be our bearish pennant. Remember the difference between bullish and bearish, and breaks below support, then from there we would be taking puts. So if we go back to PLTR today, right, we see here we have that long push upwards, car is making its way up the hill. Here is where that car is catching its breath, and then finally it ultimately ends up breaking out. So I honestly feel like chart patterns are like some of the easiest things you guys can learn as a beginner trader. If you guys go on Google, you guys can Google chart pattern diagram, familiarize yourself with these patterns, because I know for me, even almost 4 years into trading, this is like the easiest way for me to trade. You know what I mean? You see the pattern, trade the breakout, and move forward. I am not a firm believer that every single trading strategy needs to be 30 steps. You don't need 16 years of trading experience in order to make money. You just need to have a good eye for the charts. So yeah, that's what made me $13,000 today. Well, $12,975, who's counting? Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know, man. Triangle happened and we took some calls. And we targeted the top of that last candlestick there. But yeah. So for anybody who was wondering, that is how I took that trade. And triangles are so easy. Like, I love triangles. Now, if anybody in here is in my comments and they're like, oh, you have to call it a wedge, you have to call it a triangle, you have to call it a pennant. At the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to trading, and take this as advice, seriously, unless somebody's gonna beat you up, if you are making money from it, then have the best time ever. With trading, there is no correct strategy. There's no best strategy. It's the strategy that works for you. You may not like chart patterns. You may like trading smart money concepts. You may like trading ICT. You may like trading supply and demand. Whatever works for you and helps you be consistent is important. Trading is not about being profitable one time, because people will always ask and be like, oh, well, how long until I'm profitable? The market moves up and down. You can get lucky one day. It's a 50% chance you're gonna win. You know what I mean? But profitability or being a good trader is not about how much money you made that one time. It's about if you can be consistent. See the setup, trade the setup, rinse and repeat. Find something that works for you and find a teacher that also works for you. I hope this helps. For anybody who had any questions about what I did or how you can do it too. As always, if you guys want to take trades, I would suggest that you guys use Webull as a broker. I personally use Webull. Charles Schwab is really good too for those who are in the US. If you are international, you can use Interactive Brokers, and I always look at my charts. This is TradingView right here that I use to look at my charts. So yeah, I would love to teach you guys, but that's all I've got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you guys. I'm not a big self-plug kind of person, but I'm putting myself out there this year. So first and foremost, if you guys would love to learn more, I have a Discord server and I would love to teach you guys. The Discord server is called Crystal Academy because we make trading crystal clear. I'll be here all week. Thank you. Anyways, in Crystal Academy, we have live trading every day. So I trade live every day, pre-market analysis every single day. So you can come in and see what the market's gonna do before the market even opens. We have recaps every day. So let's say you guys took a trade, you lost, you don't know why. We come in, we recap the market every single day. We also have over 70+ hours of recorded content. We have access to all of our mini mentorship program recordings. We have courses on options trading and futures trading. We have psychology Zooms. We have a psychology course. Also, I'm doing a free giveaway of a trip to Jamaica. Every year we take a trip with Crystal Academy as a Discord. Last year we did the Bahamas and we did Mexico on cruises. This year we are going to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. So I will be raffling away a free cruise fare. All you have to do is be a member and I'll send the information within the Discord. And finally, I am doing another mentorship round. This will be my 10th mentorship round. I love teaching, so I'm really excited to get back into mentoring. So I will probably have the information sent out by like Monday or so. If you guys are watching this after that date, please check the link in my bio to see if there's any mentorship info. As of right now, there is just a wait list. So if you do sign up on the wait list, I will email you a discount code. But I'll be doing another mentorship in March, so I hope to see you guys there. It will be open until either, you know, right before mentorship starts, or if all spots sell out, then it'll just close before then, and then I'll have that updated on the site. But yeah, that's all I've got for the shameless self promo for today. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, I hope this was very helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. As always, I would love to teach you guys over in the Discord server. We also have a lot of free educational content. I did a full class teaching on sharp patterns, triangles, wedges, and pennants, which is in the Discord server. So if you guys should become a member, you guys will see under the WAP, under the beginners series, there's a whole class. It was like an hour and a half teaching this exact strategy in depth. So hopefully you guys can go check that out. I will see you guys next time. And as always, I love you guys, but God loves you more. And I will see you guys next video. Bye, y'all.